Hello and welcome to Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshak and I've started with Vanguard this morning. Vanguard's leading story says debt heads for 180 trillion naira as Tinubu seeks a fresh 34.15 trillion naira loans. Federal government debt service to revenue deteriorates to 131%. Experts urge a caution on further borrowing. You can see that story on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. And away from that, we move to the Punch newspaper. The Punch leading story says a fresh $24 billion borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. National Assembly set to approve Tinubu's loan request. Foreign debt nears $70 billion. Economists worry over high debt servicing. PDP NEC under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. NFRU probes a 48 billion naira suspicious transfer to Dubai, Hong Kong. You can see that story on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. The Guardian leading story says fresh loans may push Nigeria's debt to 182 trillion naira. You can see that on page 6. And lastly, let's take a look at the Nation's newspaper. The Nation's leading story says PDP APC clash over one party claim. Opposition attacks a ruling party over economy and insecurity. JAM, Wike go tough on exam practices. Tinubu seeks lawmakers not to borrow 757 billion naira, $23 billion, and others. Democracy at 26, still much to do. You can see that storage inside the Nation newspaper on page 29. That's how we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of the stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining me, this is Today the News on Vanguard Life. My name is Damola Ogunshaki, and joining me to analyze some of the stories on the front pages this morning is Mr. Gbenro Olajuipe. He's Executive Director of Emergency and Risk Alert. Good morning, Mr. Gbenro.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being with you.
Yes, thank you. Now, Nigeria's public debt is set to exceed 180 trillion naira following President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's request to the National Assembly seeking approval for additional external and domestic loans totaling 34.15 trillion naira. Well, what's your take on this fresh borrowings by the president?
Well, this is a determination to kill the country, to ensure that the country does not get out of this debt trap. And I know this is unacceptable in any decent society, more so that the CBN governor late last year was saying that incurring further debt will kill the economy and destroy the country. I'm talking of the CBN governor made that type of statement, and today the president, after some gullible people celebrated him for paying COVID debt, not IMF debt, COVID debt. Now he has turned around to unleash this generational burden upon Nigeria. It's unacceptable. We elect people, presidents are elected elsewhere so that they can have their own initiative. Nigerians have been cast out of existence. There's nothing you do in Nigeria today that people don't pay from their nose. The Nigerians have made extreme sacrifice to the extent that it has become difficult, even for those that are working to eke out a living in this economy. And then, thinking that we have made enough sacrifice, the same president that continue to live luxurious life, and the same people in government officials in the National Assembly that continue to live luxurious life want to combine together to unleash on Nigeria further debt burden. It's unacceptable. It's capable of crippling the future of this country. This is a sad thing that Buhari did. Just less than 2 years out of his government. See what we have gotten in return. Poverty is spreading across board everywhere without regard to boundaries now. People are becoming poorer day by day. And then we still have unconscionable proposal of using instrument of death to further yoke Nigerians. I don't think that death without productivity can never trigger any economic revival. That is just the basic fact of it. Economic revival is not possible when you continue to borrow money, when you continue to impoverish people, when you continue to make cost of living unacceptably high, when you continue to make standard of living unacceptably low. So these are challenges. Look at the even interest rates that came down recently and started going up again. So what manner of country are we living in? So they should just call it debtocracy rather than democracy. It's a government where people come in to borrow money and spend on and lavish it on themselves. And this is a country we are still struggling with the pure fact, immoral fact, illegal fact that in respect of budget having to the tune of 6 trillion naira for immoral constituency as a project, for illegal constituency project, for almost vague constituency project that has never impacted on the lives and conditions of average Nigerian.
Mr. Guerrero, tomorrow, May 29, this current administration will be 2 years. How will you rate them so far?
Very poorly. I rate people by what happened to people. If you want to rate government, look at what is happening in the life of people. The primary purpose of government, particularly democracy, is to promote the happiness of majority of people that live within that geography. But as that happens, people are unhappy, people are sadder than they were before, people are more wretched, they are poorer, they can hardly take out a living. So those are the ingredients to measure democracy, and not the phony way of saying that we are building super road to where? To hunger, to starvation, and to decimation of humanity. So my rating for them is low. Before this government came into power, if you are having 10 million in your account, that 10 million is not worth 1 million today. That is the tragedy of what has happened. So it is government that has spread poverty in debt and in wheat.
You say the people are now safer compared to 2 years ago.
Well, I don't even need to tell you about that. If an average Benue man or Plateau man or Zamfara man is listening now, that will be obvious. Just yesterday, of course, the day before yesterday, people were kidnapped in Ondo State, close to Akure here, in Akure North of Ondo State. And people have been killed randomly and, of course, extensively. In Plateau State and Benue State, combinedly, nearly 300 persons have been killed. So also, you can equally look at what has happened even in other places like that. So that is the story of Nigeria. That is the story of us that live in these spheres of existence.
All right, let's move away from that. The fact-checking committee of the People's Democratic Party National Caucus, led by Taraba State Governor, informed the 99th National Executive Committee meeting on Tuesday that Independent National Electoral Commission had recognized Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the party's national secretary.
I don't know. The PDP has become another thing, and I don't know what to say about PDP. A party that tolerates people that continue to destroy the party. It's not a political party. As a matter of fact, I think it's a basket for those who want to waste time, who are not bold enough, courageous enough to even excel those that are creating crisis in their party. So that is the fate of PDP. It's a dying party. Whether it will eventually die, it's left for them to determine. But how can you have an individual controlling the party, creating chaos within the party, maintaining loyalty to two political parties, and spreading disloyalty as if it means nothing to political organization and to political to party loyalty. So those are the character. You have that type of character, and they don't even believe in the party themselves. That shows that what they sow is what they are reaping. If they have organized the country, if they have artistically put in place law that says that if you are not in a political party, if you are in political party, when they were in power, that you cannot willingly, without a recourse to law, without recourse to your constituents, they come to another party. Then what is happening to them is what they saw when they were in power. The recklessness they tolerated has come back to haunt them.
But still talking about party and their doings, the current local government administration tenure is winding down, and a group loyal to All Progressive Congress and People's Group for the Democracy (PGD), they've raised alarm over attempts by some local government officials in Lagos to run for unconstitutional third terms in the forthcoming council elections. What do you think about this?
Well, I don't know what they know. There is only Lagos has one constitution and they have one law. And of course, it's the one that is controlling the party, both the governor, the local government, even up to the councillor. So they have their own special way of organizing themselves in Lagos State because they have built a political system, a political party, a political culture that is revolved around an individual in Lagos. And it is shameful to democracy. Of course, you need to know what law are they talking about. Is it the law that was willfully and tragically violated by reversing the removal of the Speaker of Lagos State, who was validly removed by majority of the members of the House. And now, is it now they want to fight for their rights? If they want to, well, all good and wise. But then, how far they can go, I can predict that it will lead to the dictation of an individual, whatever happens. Anything is going, it doesn't matter what they do in Lagos State, it doesn't matter the position of law. Law is not supreme when it comes to governance of Lagos State, particularly the party, political party organization of APC in Lagos State. So if they like, let them give themselves all time and every other thing. It has been affront on law of Nigeria, on constitution of Nigeria. And to the extent that those who play the game continue to tolerate, well, there's actually nothing anybody can do. The best they will tell you is to go to court. And when you go to court, you still need the same people. So what is the essence of wasting one time in trying to see what is normal, what can be a normal thing in that type of environment? The political culture has been that have been subjugated and that have been pocketed by an individual.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gwenro, for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
This is what we have to draw the curtain today. My name is Damlola Ogunshakin. Do want to like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. You can also visit our website, www.vanguardngr.com.